not a great movie, but it's fun. All right. Anyway, so we've got ourselves a look finally at the third sister, who was mentioned once in a Melleau and Nemone crossfade and not
Years
touched,
ago. Years ago.
not touched again. Like one of the reasons that Fukuhara at the beginning of the year no longer tries to tease what stories are coming up is because there was one year where he was like the sisters, and it turns out that the sisters were Silva, Camus, and um, Kukuru,
Kukuru.
and
The Gunsmith sisters.
people were big mad that it wasn't like either the Levin sisters or Malul, Nemone, and Feluca.
Look, I'm still sad that's not Eustace, but we're gonna go past that.
I mean, a lot of people were also hoping that Feluca would be voiced by one of the other members of Sphere, either Tomatsu Haruka or Kotobuki Minako, and turns out she's Fuqua and Misato.
Who also voices Carmelina, from what I looked up.
Yes, she's also Carmelina. Um, and I mean, that's not that uncommon. We've got so many characters that it's pretty inevitable that people double up now. Like, do you
How
remember
many
who voices?
Aoyikis do we have?
Okay, so Mina, Mona, Mana, so all three Levin sisters, um,
Uh huh.
and
And then Cheap.
yes, I'm trying to think if she's any collab characters as of right now, and I don't think so.
We're... No, I know Futaba wasn't in that event, so can't even count her.
Right, Futaba was
Uh,
not in the Persona 5 event. So anyway, we'll talk about this with collab stuff later. Um, but yeah, so this event's coming up, and it's coming with 5-star Maloo,
that was
and
announced on TV, right?
that was announced on TV. And something that wasn't announced on TV is that before her 5-star, she actually got a rebalance before that as well. So,
At least it's more than just giving her staff.
she already has 2 weapon types. How could they give her a third? There's no precedent for that yet.
I actually still kind of want to bring was it Stan and Eliza into Lucy and see what happens.
Because they're 2 different races.
Yeah,
Same thing with Zeta and Vazaraga too.
I think doesn't Black Knight and Orchid have that too?
I don't have that DVD, so I don't remember.
Let me just look it up quickly.
Anyway, so the Maloo rebalance is actually stuff that is really interesting. It's not overpowering. It takes a little bit to build up, but it's very promising for the 5-star that's coming up. So, all right, her old charge attack gave her stacking defense up. Now it just says she triple attacks next turn.
Okay.
And, triple attack next turn, like Tiamat has that. Um, there are several characters who have that. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It has an effect that you actually notice. Um, her Raging Flow, it used to be 40% normal attack. Now it is 30% unique attack.
That's
So
pretty
it's
good.
it's effectively higher, even though it's a technically a lower number, because it stacks with everything and doesn't like add on to an already crowded multiplier. So that's really good, and especially since it presses 3 times. So that's 90%. You know who is getting a rebalance next month and also has a unique attack multiplier that's not quite 90% yet?
Hold on, I lost you. I lost you there on that one.
So Siegfried gives himself 60% unique attack up with Manigance,
Hmm.
and he's getting rebalanced next month. And so, you know, she gives herself a better attack up than Siegfried gives himself. Although she takes time
I
to
thought,
build to it.
I thought that doesn't stack.
Which one, Manigance?
No, I'm talking about Malose.
Oh, is it not stacking? Is it only 30%? Hold on.
It's only 30%.
Was the times 3 because it's 3 turns, 1 second?
3 turns. It's 3 turns long.
It's 30% attack up and oh no, it's 3 turns of debuff immunity. That's what it is. My mistake.
That's why I
So
was lost there. I'm like,
yeah.
wait a minute.
So All right, so she gives herself half of what Siegfried gives himself, but also gives herself debuff immunity
for those 3 turns.
for those 3 turns. It's pretty good. It's nothing to really go crazy with, but it's a good start. Um, then after that, her what is it? Engrave something or other became engraved counter. Engraved Fang. It now
Which
actually does something. It gives her tank and counter along with it. However you do the math, it gives her 2 extra eggs in the hostility basket. So it essentially triples her hostility, so that in a normal party she will have a 50% chance of being targeted by anything. I believe that was the numbers that I saw in game with, at least.
okay. Before it used to be a very small nuke that gave her 15 bar and stackable hostility.
Let me make absolutely sure. So it's plus 100%. Oh no, it is actually full. Let's see. Sorry, I was reading the wrong number. The boost to hostility that gives her 2 extra eggs in the basket is on me and my partner after 3 triple attacks.
Yeah.
Engraved counter gives her 100% hostility, meaning she will be targeted by everything until she dies for that turn. So me and my partner, I was getting ahead of myself. So on her first triple attack, she gets 100% defense up.
It's effectively taking about 50% less damage.
After that, she gets effectively armored, so 20% less damage after everything else goes through.
Effectively about 40% less. She's only taking 40% of the damage she should be taking.
Uh, Boost to hostility. That one was the one where she passively gives herself a 50% chance to get hit on a normal party. Then she gets 100% extra meter to the meter that you normally get
Damage.
on taking damage, which is kind of a nothing buff, really. It's nice.
I mean, the only thing I can think of that existing was Boar's skill 3.
Hmm. And then the last one is the big one here, which is buffs can't be removed. It's one of those things where you look at it and go, wait, that's from a limited character.
Yeah, but she can't extend her buffs, unlike the limited character, so.
True, but still, um, it's relatively easy to get her to triple attack, and then this is all a solid foundation to make a 5-star character. Like she
Yeah.
actually tanks now, and then punishes them for hitting her. It's something that they did to Sarah when Sarah got her rebalance, where it's just like, yeah, we don't need to do anything to her skills. We just need to make sure that she actually like kind of does something on offense. And then for Melleau, it's like her offense, we're gonna improve it a little bit, and then we're gonna actually make sure she does something on defense because her
Also,
hostility up and her like kind of sort of maybe counter mechanic, which was like it was wasn't it me and my cat was or cat lover was like stacking attack up on getting hit.
unique attack up on taking damage.
Oh my
Stacks up to
god,
50%.
that was so bad.
It used to be worse.
Like there was no reason for her to get hit. Like there was no reward.
Good thing is that she is axe user, so Hollow Sky works really well with her because she's gonna be triple attacking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Unfortunate that Nemone's gonna be untouched, but oh well. We'll figure
Look,
something out. Maybe we'll get.
Lemonade still has the best things of the longest buff name possible.
You're right. She has the longest buff name in the game, and that's what matters for Nemone. Um, So the event itself starts in a few hours. We're not going to talk much more about it until next week when we talk about the characters that come out of it because what 3 days out from Premium Gala? Yeah, we are. And at that point, we'll have new characters to talk about. Until then, we're gonna move on.
There's something I do want to bring up with her getting a 5-star though, Mellow.
Mm-hmm.
It's that this is the fifth of so there are six characters you're guaranteed to get, 1 of 6 you're guaranteed to get,
when you
from your
start the
beginner
game.
draw.
Hmm.
She is the fifth one to get a 5-star. Because let's see here, Lady Gray got hers back in 2015. That was a long time ago.
A very long time ago.
Zeta's got hers. What was it? This year or last year? This year.
It was this year for Pisgetti syndrome.
Let's see here. De La Fee got hers this year.
Hmm. Charlotta got
Long
hers a long time ago, also.
a long time. And the only one missing is Carmelina, actually. Now,
Voiced by Fukue Misato, by the way, who we have evidence of being in the studio recently.
yeah.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that.
I mean, we're not saying anything. It's just like I do like that they're actually giving these giving 5 stars to characters that you're probably gonna have.
So this is the thing is also that they are increasing the pace of 5 stars, which is good because like only one a month and some of them being SRs means that there are a lot of characters getting left behind in that kind of pace. So how many event uncaps have we gotten this year? It's a lot. So Zeta was one, Aloidos was one, Melleau is going to be another one.
Yeah.
Walder got an event uncap. Um, anyway, so they're adding these to the pace. Oh yeah,
Romeo.
Romeo is a good reminder.
Yeah.
And they didn't all necessarily count as the one 5-star uncap of the month. Um, it's it's something that is kind of accelerating power creep in certain people's things, but this kind of power creep is really just taking the bad and making them usable. So, uh, as much as people cry power creep when they release new characters, taking old characters and giving them a 5-star tends not to actually like raise that much stink. Um,
I mean, I still don't use De La Fee, but she really. I can make a really good team around her though.
I've used her multiple times in the Tower of Babyl, which is what we're going to be talking about next. But until then, anything else about the 5-star starter characters?
Uh, no, they've been a lot better than since they've been designated as the 5-star start. Well, as they've been designated as the starter characters to begin with. Like Carmelina used to be super bad,
Oh my
so
god, she was so bad. 20-second gravity that overwrote your gravity. Why?
I don't know. I don't know, man.
All right. Um, so that is the beginning of our speculation. Let's see here. So yeah, let's see. December's 5-star will most likely be announced on TV channel at this point, aren't won't it? Because they're not going to have um, they're not going to have proper choreogra this month. They're waiting until after the stream. They haven't announced the stream yet.
We don't know who's on it.
We have an idea of the dates, but we don't actually have an announcement of the dates, or if it's just one date. I don't know. So we'll find that out relatively soon. Um, and like I said, hopefully we'll find out more about like the December 5-star. Um, we'll see if it's Carmelina because it's certainly not going to be Carmelina in January, at least for the scheduled one, because that one's going to be Vajra.
It should be Madra, yeah.
Vajra. But yeah. Um, as for what new characters that we'll be getting, we are going to start having a regular segment of us just going through Granblues and going, what if this is the character uh, who's in the next gala? Where it's like, what if it's Forte?
I mean, that'd be cool because Forte hasn't seen much even after Rebalance.
Yeah, this character is she used to be popular in Rage of Bahamut, and then she's sort of laid around and not done anything. Do they have
That
Forte and Dragalia Lost?
not that I know of, actually.
Okay. Or it could be, your girl Mirin, but in a school uniform.
Look, Miran's doing fine as she is right now. We don't need more versions of her currently.
Oh, she is in Dragalia Lost. Thank you for that. She's
Uh,
good in Dragalia.
okay.
Yeah. It's not gonna be Friday. It could be Petra.
Wait, he's not gonna be SSR Friday.
All right. So, a quick look at the Tower of Babel. I've done all the masteries finally. Uh, there were a couple that people were having huge trouble with, and like, what did you think of just the difficulty level of these two new layers, and just like the design of each of these challenges?
So let's see here. The one where you had to break with 20 hits. It's really hard actually because I didn't finish it yet actually. That's the reason why I say it's hard.
So this one is quite tough. I was originally going to make a video about how I did it because the way I did it, it involves like the it involves some like really big brain thinking, and by big brain I mean Lady Caterpillar is in like everybody's front line for this. Like, and then people tend to switch into a team that has some sort of crazy combo of like evokers and limited characters. So I use Maria Teresa Kolulu, which is a common one. Altair came back out for this one for me. Some people use Silva in this spot.
Yeah, I tried using your build by the way, and it
Hmm.
doesn't work for me because I don't have your grid.
Yeah, my grid isn't necessarily the strongest grid, but it does some things that are very important. Like, I have my 5-star Opus
Opus.
and my
Yeah,
5
that's that's a really kind of important one. For I'm missing a lot of damage.
hmm
So my CA on turn ones are like in the 1 million.
So are mine. Like, my CAs don't actually hit that hard in this grid.
I'm also not hitting like skill cap actually.
Yeah, not hitting the skill cap is tough. That's a terrible one. But anyway, um, yeah, the way that I did this, like, it took me a good 20 minutes or so to figure out the exact sequence of buttons I require, because this one required so many hoops to jump through. So it's like 17 hits, um, and then after 17 hits, I do this one, I think, and then this falls off, and then I do this.
Yeah, that's skill one that you were hitting for 20
200k per hit.
yeah, I was hitting 100 something k.
Oh, yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
And then I do these.
Yeah, also I had Fior refresh on me 3 times and I still couldn't beat it.
Oof. That's a big oof. And then we do this again. We do this and this and this. Then we refresh again.
So if you guys have some lying pens around, 5-star in your opus is pretty cool
Um,
from Guild War.
right. So okay, so I do like 1.3 million on my CA for this team. Oh wait, Lancelot hit hard because he's Lancelot. But then Lady Cat hit for one.
And Savvy Man hit for 1.4.
Yeah, like the CAs don't actually hit that hard on this one. And then I do this. Nope, it didn't refresh. But I do these,
And Kieran.
and then I keel in, and then I have to ration moves out again. So we do this one, and then these. Like this takes so long.
I mean, what are you talking about? It's 3 turns.
Yeah, you're right. I guess maybe.
It's
And
not even a guess.
this. All right, so that's turn 1.5. We've made it
Yeah.
through.
Yeah, so by the time I got to this part, I was actually missing Fior's skill too.
And so we do this again.
Also, a recharge on Catbot's skill too.
hmm Um, if I remember right, then how many hits was that? That was 17. So we do this one. That falls off. We do this. These.
Refresh your arrows.
There's so many buttons involved.
I also didn't have MC skills either.
All right, this team is exhausted. Time to go to the other team. Where I have to, so this is where I messed up the first time. So I have to
You have to
co-
call skill
I
one.
have to control
Copy.
skill one first. Then do this. Then do this. And then I copy her health and her meter first. Then everybody goes up to full.
Super Saiyan.
We do this, and then this, all of this meter. Do this, and
Moon
this.
twice.
So now I have a CA ready. Now's my chain burst. And then, do I actually care about what happens with these buttons? I forget. Eh,
I don't think they do anything for you.
more defense down.
Oh yeah, so something funny for this fight, by the way.
Mhm.
Even though my entire thing said charge, attack, animation, skip,
Mhm.
Maria Teresa was a new character for me,
Oh really?
so she had her full animations on.
Uh. And then I have to, I think, like heal. Does it matter if I heal them up? I forget now. But I should be able to attack to the win here because everybody's Super Saiyan. Yeah, there we go. That's really complicated, and I barely made it over the line.
I have seen different builds for this, so there are actually more. There's definitely more one way.
Oh
He
yeah,
took the stupid way.
this is just
He
the
took
way
the stupid way out.
I labbed this at like 2 in the morning on on release essentially, and I was just like, okay, so I need Robin Hood, I need the following characters, and then I messed up the meter a bunch of times because I would copy Kolulu's meter after I had pressed all of the meter buttons, which meant that Altair was at 95. I'm like, no, no. But I think Silva would be better. No, it can't. I don't know if it can be
No,
Silva. I need the entire team to get that meter.
one that also main things for doing this in general was that you actually need a lot of skill damage.
You need a
Like that, you
lot
can't get
more.
over that. You can't get over that part. You just
Yes.
need a lot of skill damage.
Mhm.
The one video I was watching
Mhm.
had two of the Wham spheres, so they were doing the crit build.
Right. I saw that. So that every hit crit.
Crit and then their increase on crits. So that's
Mhm.
the build I saw. I can't do that one. I only have one
Same.
Wham sphere, and it's not even leveled.
But yeah, so I think that's the biggest uh like gatekeeper of this time around in terms of difficulty. Like when it comes to 24-1, 24-1 was actually very interesting uh in its execution because it gives you unremovable debuffs on entry. And if it fails to do that, then it'll try again on waves 2 and 3 until somebody has it.
One of my favorite videos I actually saw was 24/1 full auto dark.
So how did they get the entry immunity to undead, or did they use Death's Grace?
Well, they full auto. They didn't have a dust grace.
Well,
They
Death
just get health.
does Death's Grace come from a green button or a yellow button when you're a Legion?
That's the yellow one, but they were. Let me check what class they were playing. I'm pretty sure it wasn't the Legion though.
Yeah, this one at least is not character limited and things like that. Like there are a lot of solutions to this one.
Or
Um,
monk.
this one is really like simple. Like it just keeps trying to cast death on you, and so you just bring slows. That one was nice and relaxing. The fun part of the Spite River Bonefish was that I just let collapse and multi attack down land, and uh, so it turns out that my front line doesn't care because it's the number 8, Magisa, and Dante, and so they're just going to be triple attacking and gaining meter anyway. It was hilarious.
So someone was actually right. They mitigated how many people were being hit
Debuffed by
with the fairy harp.
Unheil. Makes sense.
Three Gislas.
Oh, yeah, I can't do that one.
Two Majestus.
Okay, I can do that one.
Skill cap on their Opus
Sure.
with stamina. Fallen sword and one raised weapon.
hmm
And then main hand the Beelzebub claw.
Right. So the 24th layer, not necessarily that difficult. I think the one that I've heard the most complaints about, like in terms of just not necessarily run stopping, but not getting the mastery and people getting very sad at not getting this or slash vocally angry. And then the other ones that people are mad at are this one. Like some people still can't get past um, the 70 hit barrier from the Flutterborn Bud. That one's really an endurance thing if you're not going to be doing like Tabina Zeta things. And then some people are stuck on 16 with the Cyclops or the Chaos Creeper in terms of masteries. But I am glad that they only added 2. I think 4 would have been too many.
So 22 is actually the one you want to master in the first place, at least.
20-2 or number
20
22?
2. 20-2. Because that's the one that gives you the Pride of Descendants item
Right
for
there.
your reward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, if you don't master the entire thing, then you're not going to get these 3 premium draw tickets, and some people are very sad at not getting those. But they'll
Well,
still be there next time. So
take it at your own pace. It's all something you build up.
it's coming back. It's still it's something to work toward because all of these are very well-known hurdles at this point.
Did you enjoy the story at the very end of it?
I personally did enjoy the story at the end of it. I like that there's going to be little bits of story from here on out.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
All right, so I'm looking forward to the next Tower of Babel, where I am standing. Like I was able to do all of these. The one that gave me the most trouble was I don't think any of these gave me that much trouble, honestly. Come to think of it, this one was the most time consuming because it took 40 turns. Like, but the endurance requirement was pretty nice. And then yeah, this one took the most like theory crafting.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, for that one, everyone has to go through the same thing of skill damage.
hmm Yeah, you
There's no
can't.
getting around that part.
There is no getting around like the character requirements. It's not nearly as flexible as this one is. Like this one is super flexible. I've seen like 4 different elements do it.
Yeah,
And
I've seen the earth clears, I've seen the light clears, I've seen the dark clear, full auto.
yeah, I still enjoy the big brain that was involved. By the way, like you see my main summon right here. Yeah, baby.
Why
Thank
was
you,
it your main summon?
thank you, Golden Pina. You're asking why it's my main summon?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't see this? Overwhelming brilliance. You get unchallenged to your party at the start of the fight, right?
Okay.
So let's get in there. I'm just going to go in and retreat just to show you what happens. Oh no! It's going to try and undead us. Miss. That's why.
So who took the undead because it's gonna keep casting that.
No, it's not.
It doesn't.
Nope. Here, let me attack and prove it.
Why does everything else keep casting then?
So the other thing is that there are actually because of that there are actually um, there are two different ways that you can also do this. So
It was Psycho Syringe, right?
yeah, there's two different psycho syringes that let you do this, which is the funny thing to me. So weapon series, um,
There's one that just gives everyone
veil at the start of the fight.
veil, and then the other one where you're just immune to zombie, right?
Yes. Ah, it's under class champion weapons trade emblems. And so it was, I believe, Divinity on the Psycho Syringe, debuff immunity at the start of the fight, and was it Humanity? Immunity to Zombie. So pretty fun stuff for that one at least. Like some really interesting ways around it. If you're Wind and you have own Christmas Sarawell, I'm pretty sure that there's like some Wind theory craft on a full auto now, just having Christmas Sarawell in the back somewhere.
And just a bunch of HP.
I'm sure because every time something comes around, there's those like cabal of Zephyrus players who just want to show off how easy they have things that are like endurance based.
Look, you can also just convert everything to Earth. You don't have to worry.
It's true. All right, so that is the Tower of Babel. I'm looking forward to the next set of challenges. I'm hoping that there are more challenges based on uh, like the um, the 24th layer and not the 22nd one. Not the 22nd one, the 20th one.
20-1.
Because turn constrictions are not really good for like creativity. They tend to get very constricted because they all have very, very, very specific requirements.
I
Or
almost
like,
got really sad if I actually needed Predator for 22-2, but I didn't.
I also didn't need Predator. I actually didn't change my team from my previous Dark run. Actually, no, I did change it in one way. I moved Orchid from backline to front line. That's it. I hit swap once. What do you guys think about the lore of Tower of Babel? We just talked about it. It's building. It'll get there eventually. I like the snippets that we're getting so far.
Look, they got rid of Pandemonium, quote unquote. So that actually happened in Granblue Versus. Actually, now I think about it,
They exploded Pandemonium.
they explained Pandemonium. They just actually gave a reason why Tower of Babyl exists now.
Yes, sir. Um, is that it? Are we done with Tower of Babel?
Yeah.
All right. So last piece of um, the agenda today. Let's go back to the mail segment. Let me see if this is the right one. Yes, it is. So here's the mail segment. This is something that has been previously answered by other members of the Granblue EN team. But DJ, lead us off on this one. So Riza Katsudan asked, "What are you two's dream collab with GBF? One classic franchise and one modern franchise."
All
So
right. So my answer for this one, I wrote down was Nanaha for the classic one because that was back in what 2000 2003,
I'm so old. I'm so fucking old. Jesus
and
Christ.
then the second one I put was Civil Gear. And my side note in this was, ironically, they had a collab together recently this year.
Is it really that ironic?
Uh,
It's like a lot of the same people.
well, true. Well, only one of the same people, but that's my wishes.
Any particular requests on what you would want from there?
Uh, having Fate with dual spec because that axe turns into a sword sometimes.
So random interesting thing. Whenever I forget what those things look like, I actually just need to look to my right. So let me hold on. Let me just pull this out right here.
Yeah,
Oh,
your Phaetos serves the figure.
yeah, it's kind of dusty now. Jeez, I should dust this off. Let me switch back to the camera. So there's an axe and then a this is what, a staff because it shoots guns. It's a gun, it's an axe, and it's a scythe and a
It's a
sword.
lance
So
because
how
of the
many things is it,
Bardage.
DJ? How many would
It
you
turns
have it
into a
be?
giant sword that turns into a dueling sword later.
All
So it
right.
has like three, four, five forms.
Ugh. Wait. So here's another of its forms here. Just dust this off a little bit. Wait a second.
Yeah,
Uh,
that one's from Ace.
yeah. Let me put this back in her hand real quick. There we go. Much better. This thing never stays though.
I'm actually amazed that if it would be.
It's so hard to keep this thing in her hands. Anyway, so I I'd be okay with Fate Testarossa being in Granblue Fantasy. Like I may like the character a little bit.
She's cool. And then for Symbol Gear, I would just have the main three really.
Really, but you're a fan of like the side two.
Yeah, but with how you do things in collabs, you usually just have like the main faces. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm. That's fair enough. Would you just have the music? Like which of the opening songs would you be wanting in there, playing on the event page?
Hmm, that's hard to think of. Probably Vitalization
Which season was that?
too.
Okay, sorry. I we when we play anime music quiz, I always like blank out on which season was which. So anyway, let's go take a look at the answers from other members of the Grand Blue EN team. So East Coast wants Yuki Yuna as a hero. Huh. And then for old franchise, he would want a certain magical index.
I mean, what would Toma have? He just punches. You have to choose someone else.
He wouldn't.
Make Toma the summon, and he dispels. There you go.
Sure. He dispels everything, not just enemy stuff. He's just Unia on a stick.
Yeah, he breaks your illusion,
That would be
and by
awful.
your illusion, I mean your buffs.
That would be awful. Let's do it. Um, and then he also would, for older stuff, he would request either Escaflowne, Vision of Escaflowne, or Outlaw Star. Wow.
Yeah, I can see those. I can actually see those.
Outlaw Star would be pretty fun in GBF, honestly. I mean, they're already, flying around there on a boat. All right, so our Tokyo branch requests Original Fantasy Star as a collab at this point. Jesus. And then for modern stuff, he requests My Next Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom.
Look,
Which,
they actually do have magic in that show, so
have they made it into other mobile games yet, or have they not really like
no,
cashed out on that yet?
that's not cash out on anywhere.
Okay.
The only game I know is in the Blu-ray version. They have the visual novel of the original game technically
And they have that like farming simulator thing in the
on the
browser.
website. Yeah,
Yeah, on the website. So they haven't really
but
milked that in game form yet, even though it's like built to be a game.
yeah. Although, yeah, I can actually still kind of see this, but you have to have like the author flesh out the magic more.
And the magic really isn't the point of that show.
The magic's definitely not the point of that show.
It is definitely an excuse. Uh, those are little pieces of insight into Granblue EN, East Coast, and Tokyo branches and what they're fans of and what they would want. What would I want? So, in terms of old, like, decrepit franchise, I kind of want Sakura Taisen or Sakura Wars to come back. I kind of got my wish last year that the game came back, but I didn't enjoy the game that much, unfortunately.
You play Koi Koi.
I did play a whole lot of Koi Koi. You're right. But yeah, if Sakura Wars came back as a collab, like people would be able to get the characters again. Um, People would be able to like, oh man. So one of my early memories of Granblue Fantasy in general is farming up. Where'd it go? Where are you? Hold on. Is it my stash now? Where did
Is it the
Raphael
gun?
go? Yeah, gun. Did I put it in here? That's my Katamatsu. Where are they? Oh no! Did I break it finally?
Oh man, the early years of GVF where EX modifiers
Oh, I
were
did it!
rare.
I found it. If they gave this a 5 star, I wouldn't mind. This thing, one of my earliest memories was I was actually holding a sleeping baby at the time because I was babysitting, and spent like a good 3 hours farming for this thing with a baby on my shoulder. So anyway, that's one of the things that I would request to come back. That's the old decrepit franchise. What I want is a new franchise. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm doing it, DJ. I'm saying it.
What are you saying?
Hypnosis
Yeah,
Mike.
I figured you were gonna say
Yeah, let's do it. My favorite rapper is like
it's gonna have
Catherine.
JJ in the collab as well.
Yes, JJ and um.
I mean, they do a lot of mystical stuff with the rap battles anyway. So
Let's see. Wait, JJ's not dark. JJ is an SR and light.
you would make the single
Harp?
each unit, or
We would have them as teams. It's fine. They would be the teams of three situation.
yeah,
They would get to meet JJ and um. Who else would even be possibly involved?
beatboxing Lyria.
You know, wait. Earth Gun has two of the hypnosis mics in it. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah. You're right.
I'm just saying. It doesn't mean anything, but anyway, that's probably that one would just be randomly stupid and fun, and stupid and fun is a good place to be sometimes.
I was like, I don't know where some of these. I didn't expect Gotcha Pin last year. Anything could happen.
I kind of expected Demon Slayer, but I didn't know if it was actually going to happen. All right. Anyway, so that's it for this week. I'm sure that in 10 minutes they're going to show us what the Melleau 5 star is going to do, but that's outside of the specs of this particular show. Thanks for joining me as always, DJ. Let's
Yeah, no
see.
problem.
Next week, so we don't have Choreogra to go over. Next week we'll be going over Paliuli, Pararaiha, along with the two new characters who are going to be hitting us as of Premium Gala in 3 days. So, um, two new characters. People are already speculating. It's like it's Feluca +1. We'll find out. Um, and let's see here. Yeah, we'll probably have info on when the stream is going to be for December, and
Mhm.
maybe a little more news. Who knows? Uh, this Sunday is going to be a very like fluffy episode of Granblue TV channel because they're just throwing Dante and Tyre out of a plane.
Look, that sounds fun. I remember when Fukujun got thrown out of off a bridge.
They threw him off a bridge. As for Replicard Sandbox, it might be done by then. It might not. We have no idea.
Things you guys remember to do is to do Premium Friday.
Yeah,
That
Premium
one's a
Friday
fun
is good
one.
this month.
How do you feel about Premium Friday actually? Because all of them are pretty much set battles. But I like the story that it tells.
This one, they've been getting better at telling little stories via Premium Friday. Like the first 6 Premium Fridays were all cut and paste, and
Yeah.
that sort of set a bad precedent. But they've been getting fun. Like someone replied to Granblue EN saying that they honestly enjoyed reading the dialogue of this month's Premium Friday.
Yeah, I've been liking a lot. A lot. I like the Ranger one, the Cypher Ranger one. That was
Oh,
pretty good.
jeez. Sorry, I accidentally poked myself on fade over on the side here. Ow, that's sharp. Jeez.
Oh
No wonder I
man,
have this all the way to the right of my desk.
have you seen the how much of a hazard Kirika's figure is?
Yeah, they actually tell you like
All the pointy
these are the
parts.
parts of this thing that you could hurt yourself on. Please be careful. Anyway, all right. So thanks for joining me, everybody, and we'll see you next week.